Huh? Hey, I'm tryna win. I'm tryna win in the 716 and I'm making it big. I wanna live. I think I'm ready to.
Yo, what's good, man? This is Easy Child Podcast with your one and only host, Glory Boy, back here with another special guest, the one and only. You know him, you've seen him, the CEO of What's Poppin'. You feel me?
Hey, man, that's nice, bro. Thank you for that.
You know, every time we sit down, bro, we get to have like a great conversation, and we talk about a lot of different things. We talk about a lot of different things and all involving like just growth. We talk about family. Things that makes this world a better place. And that's why, I'm always welcome to have you here anytime. And I appreciate you, taking time out of your schedule.
Man, I thank you, man. Like, I appreciate you having me every time, man. I love the real talk, man.
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely. But yeah, so guys, before we even start this, y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. So the more you do that, the more we're going to continue to have a special guest on this podcast. Because this podcast is going to be for the people that want to grow. People that want to be better in life. I'm going to have conversation with all different forms of individuals, like that's willing to talk about either finances, growth, mental health, business, and even music, fashion, whatever that's gonna bring light to the world. But yeah, so how is everything, bro?
And it's dope you do that. You know what I mean? It's so diverse, and it's a great platform, man. Like,
yes,
I feel like you always have the realest of the realest people,
I appreciate that.
It's love. I'm always watching. I'm doing good, bro. I'm just dope. I'm living life and, learning every day and, making changes. Always on a pivot.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about business. How is business for you so far?
Nah, business is good, man. I was just telling you, delivery's been crazy, man. I'm sorry, man. I I can't keep up with deliveries for the life of me. I'm sorry, business has been good, and I've been showing love, doing a lot of weddings. I just did a few weddings this weekend, which was dope.
Bro. I've seen actually not just weddings. I've seen like you've had like a lot of crazy flavors, especially during Halloween. You did have like some flavors for Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween was dope. And then now like I really been focusing on Christmas. Pre-ordering with me. Right. Really just trying to drop some wild flavors, and next year is gonna be a different change. For What's Poppin' and in the direction and what I'm doing. So, really encouraging everybody to just link up with me and, try some of these new flavors, give them a chance, and, really always, don't be scared.
And the only way to find you, there's so many ways to find you. Like, you have your Instagram, your Facebook.
Yeah, you can hit the website. People, I got customers that text me, which is love.
Right.
I think that was my biggest mistake when I first started. Like, my personal phone is my business phone, so, we're always on the grind. But, you can reach me anywhere. People message me on, Instagram. I've been messing with TikTok a lot more now, so like I'm ready, to play with that. And yeah, man, I'm always doing something. I got some weird flavors I'm about to showcase in the next couple days, and some people might try them, some people might not.
Yeah, but it never hurts to try.
Yeah, man, I love doing that. That's, to be honest, that's like
it never hurts to try.
Most exciting for me.
Most definitely.
Coming up with something different.
So the election just passed.
Yeah, man.
The election just passed. I can say it was a crazy election. Bro.
Yeah, I'm not like the most political person. I can only speak on, what I've been through and what I know. My kid's mom, though, she's dope. Like she seems to know, her stuff. She does, and so, I listen to her and, I go from there. But, I will say, since you brought that up, though.
Man, I think some people cancel me out of their life.
Bro.
Like,
I caught so much. I did a custom bag for a campaign party, a Harris bag. And, man, I got to tell you, though, like, people are ridiculous. No disrespect,
ridiculous,
but
bro.
I got more comments on this bag, than I did in the last 5 months. It's like, and people are rude, man. You know what I mean? Like, you got something to say, that's cool. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But like the unfollowing, and I'm gonna tell my friends what you support, and homies from back in the day talking trash, like, it's just crazy to me, man. Like, people are.
You know what's crazy though? for me is like me, I'm very direct with people, and I'll tell people straight up, okay, this who I support, and the reason why I'm supporting them is because this. And I was like, oh, I wanted Trump to win. But people were so mad at me. Even like some girls that I've worked with before, in terms of like, because my photography and stuff, they really got mad at me. Like, oh, we can't work with you no more because I'm like,
It's crazy.
I respect that, but we have to understand, like, people are entitled to their own opinion, and people are entitled to their own political views or whatever views, even if it's like religious. Like you can't tell someone like you can't be Muslim because this and that.
Right.
Like they can be Muslim because they believe that's something good for them. You know.
It's sad to me though, because the more people try to tell you what to do, the more you want to rebel. Like I'm a grown ass man. You can't be telling me what to do and what to say. And I'm gonna tell you real quick too. Not to go off. It's not a tangent, but when I first opened that ferry in Shenango. It was right around the time Black Lives Matter, and me personally, we all matter, you know what I mean? So I don't necessarily really support that, but apparently I remember they had a blackout Tuesday. It was like a blackout day. Like nobody could post because we were showing love to black community.
Yeah. Everybody had like the profiles, like,
and me, man, like, I don't give a shit about that. I'm posting. It's another day to post, and I want sales, and we doing business, And, I recall I put up a post, and I caught some nasty backlash from a woman. I can't remember exactly, but she didn't know I was black. So I bounced back to her, and for the record, I'm black, white, Brazilian. A lot of people think I'm Spanish. I don't speak no Spanish, like, this is just what I am, But I bounced back and said, like, listen,
right.
If you're supporting Black Lives Matter, I'm that homie.
But you know what's crazy? When Black Lives Matter movement, cool, but like when they did do some investigation, which I was following, and they said that the people that actually started the movement were actually scamming people. They started using that money for their own good rather than helping in the black communities.
Man, and unfortunately, I believe that.
Bro, there was proof. There was proof. Like the lady that actually was the founder of the movement was living in the suburbs, like living a good life, big house, big mansion, cars, and the people that she's basically, pushing that movement towards are living in the hood. They're actually the ones that's representing the black culture, the ones that they're actually showing like the struggle that black people are going through. But her, like, on the other hand, she was just living life.
Just living life.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
And just to get back to the election itself, I can say for those people that really got mad and upset with me, you guys were never true to me, like, to be honest, because if you're mad at someone because their political views or whoever they choose, like, in their favor, like, you was never a true friend, because friends do fight and friends do come to a conclusion and understand each other.
Most certainly.
And one thing I can say, bro, it's we move on.
We move on, brother.
We move on. We leave them behind. We move on.
You got it. I got nothing else for you. If you don't like me, nah, I'll see you around.
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing you could do.
There's nothing you can do. So let's talk about just in terms of like a lot of things that's been going on. I don't want to focus a lot on the election or anything, but I remember. I don't know if you remember when I posted that post where I said that I'm not gonna have people on my podcast that's out here promoting like violence, drug use, or anything. And some people got upset with that.
Really?
And looking at the election itself, did you see what happened? A lot of black folks, the reason why they didn't vote for Kamala in terms of that is because she kept bringing people like Megan Thee Stallion, people to just come on the stage.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's not representing us in a good way, because people gonna always look at us and say, "Oh, that's all they do."
Yeah, man.
So in terms of that, like, how do you feel about that? Like when you're doing your business and you say, you know what, I'm gonna stick to this protocol. I'm gonna have certain people, certain customers that I'm gonna abide to, and someone,
it's
goes
tricky.
against that?
You know, I'm a product of my environment, man. You know what I mean? And I am what I am, but I've learned, you know, over the years, and there's a time for certain professionalism, and there's a time, you know, to be you. I get it. We all kind of play that role, right. You know, and you know, for me personally though, you know, I mean, I love the hood, you know, I do, and you know, but I also, you know, I love corporate America as well, you know, and I think that
you love that too, right?
Right. I think that that's based on your individual opinion, you know. Unfortunately, you see a lot of people, you know, I listen to a lot of hip hop, a lot of, you know, that crazy stuff too, and there's that judgment, you know, and I think that's the biggest problem. Like, you know, we're all so quick to judge, man. We do it subconsciously at this point, you know, and I feel where people were coming from with Meg Thee Stallion, you know, getting up and being ratchet or whatever. And certain people might have that sour taste in their mouth, and then, you know, you bring on somebody else and they put on a, you know, phenomenal performance, or they have a, you know, a high reputation, you know, whatever. You know, we're judging it a little bit differently, you know. I just think that, you know, that's one of the biggest problems. You know, I'm so back and forth from the hood into the suburbs. You know, I've always been that kid. You know, it's crazy you say that. Like the other day, I'm sitting at the red light, and you know, I didn't go fast enough for somebody. You know, it's cool. But man, when they drove by, you know, they yelled, you know, learn how to drive, you Nick. You know what I mean? Wow. And you know, that right there, you know, for me, shows me that nothing's changed, man. You know, and I'm from the era of pagers, and you know what I'm saying, like before social media.
There's good people and bad people.
There's good people and bad people everywhere, man.
Right.
And this stuff been going on for so long. You know, it's like a never-ending cycle. You know, we can stand up and try to represent it as much as we can, but I feel like not enough people are really in the trenches to understand that life. Right. And that's my personal opinion, you know. And those ignorant people, or those people that got something to say, or man, they need to come spend a day then. You know what I mean?
Do you know someone named D1?
Nah, I don't think so.
So D1, he's an artist, right? He's an artist. He's also, I believe, a professor at Harvard University.
Okay.
He's also a professor there. He's from I think Louisiana. So D1 actually, he used to be a rapper. He's still a rapper, but like he used to, you know, rap from before, you know, but he changed his life around, and he started actually promoting good within the community. So he started speaking up and saying, oh, Rick Ross, you should be like a role model. Instead of trying to promote violence and all that, you guys are at an age where you guys can actually change the community. I
agree with that.
So as D1 continued to, like, you know, point out those people like the OGs in the rap industry, the ones that's actually supposed to show the young ones, this is how you're supposed to manage your money. This is how you're supposed to, you know, do good in the community. Make sure like the little kids are looking up to you in a positive way. They started going crazy at him, like, yo, D1, oh, mind your business, this and that, da, da, da. And I'm like, man, if people speak up for something that's good, they get bashed.
Yeah.
You know, when people speak up for something that's bad, it's okay.
Yep.
You know, and that's one thing I feel like that should change within our community. Even like, because that's going to help us transition from coming from our neighborhoods, from like the hood, and going into the suburbs and actually understanding the life in the suburbs. So we're not really, you know, promoting or adapting that lifestyle.
We're not.
In a place where we can actually be able to look into and say, you know what, we can raise our kids here well. We know there's going to be good or bad people,
right,
but at the end of the day, we want them to understand that they can work really hard and become something good as long as they're doing something good in their lives. Yeah,
man. You know, it's crazy you saying that, though. I agree. You know, and I be listening to some trap. You know, I was listening to drill for a while. Like I'm
the drill music, huh?
You know what I mean? Like I was in it, you know, and so but we can't glorify that life. You know, that's the problem with these big OGs. You know, you still glorifying the life. If you come from it, I get it. I respect it. You know, I respect you even more.
That's what D1 said. We have to stop glorifying it.
If
we're going to talk about that life, we should be the narrators.
Well, like, for sure.
We should just be telling the story. Like, I came from this place. Now I'm doing good.
Yep.
This the place that I was struggling. And what?
I feel you. You get to a threshold, right, where you got to start talking good about it. You got to say, hey, I'm making this much money and I'm making these investments. I respect Rick Ross from a business standpoint of what he does with investments and what he tries to do, but they don't talk about that. You know, but then the music comes on and we talking about gang banging and this and that, you know what I mean? And I feel you there, you know, and it's sad too because there is there's that disconnect between, you know, the inner city and the suburbs. And man, I'm living that, you know, like I went to high school in the suburbs, but I still was in the hood, you know, like my children are biracial now and they're having problems. They go to school in the suburbs, right? But now they're starting to have problems with the color of their skin because you got a lot of these other kids that want to say certain things to them, you know, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, and now you have to teach your children at such a young age, you know, real life. That's how I do it. Right. You know, they're learning real life, you know, and unfortunately, I always say this, man. I've been saying this for years, man. You take everybody in the suburbs, put them in the hood for 2 weeks, take everybody in the hood, put them in the suburbs for 2 weeks, talk about motivation. Talk about wanting to really help people when you start to really understand how they really living. Right. You know, we're falling off of social media right now.
Man,
you know? I always say I want to post a shitty day. I just want to post a shitty day, you know, where I'm motherfucking somebody. You know what I mean? Or something. You know, but people don't want to hear that. You know, I've learned that over the years through the business. You know, they only want to hear half your story. You know, and I want to share the whole story. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not made to just play a little bit of the game. You know, and you know, last time I was here, I was in a do-rag. You know, I had a couple people reach out like, really, you going to events in do-rags? I wore the do-rag again.
Man, let me be myself.
How dare you? You know what I mean? How dare you? You know? And if you don't want to support me, man, why you watching?
Yeah, it's a lot of people that's so quick to judge, but they still be watching. Every step, every move that you own, like, but which I don't understand. Which is the same thing in terms of like, let me say like even with the support of different candidates in the presidential race or whatever, there's people that really will still say something bad about you, but still be watching every move that you're making. You know, but at the end of the day, they don't really know you personally. That's what I'm saying. If someone saw you wearing a do-rag, it's best for them to actually ask you, oh, yeah, why you wore that do-rag, bro? You know, like, have a conversation. Right. And that's one thing that we lack nowadays. Like, people don't really come to you and have a conversation, get to understand where you're coming from, rather than they just react. Yeah. And then what that results in is losing that relationship that you could have built with that person. It's
sad, right? You know, the misconception of people, brother. Yeah. Like, that's what What's Poppin' was always about. You know, sir. People catching on now, well, you're late. You late. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you forgot. You didn't, or you didn't know. You didn't do your research. You know, and I say that too sometimes when I go and do, you know, when I used to go do interviews with people, you know, and it's like, man, you didn't even do your research on me, you know what I mean? You just think I'm selling popcorn, you know? So I ain't got no time for you. If that's what you think, you know, then that's good. But if you dig deeper, you realize that. But you're not willing to dig deeper because you're judging a book by its cover, you know? And that's really what I represent, you know? And I respect anybody going into a boardroom wearing a suit. I respect it. But at the end of the day, like, we living in a different time now. And we got to get past that judgment right away. You know what I mean? Right. So I vow not to judge anybody based on the life that they came through, because I've lived through the levels of those trenches.
Have you seen those social experiments where, like, I think a company owner, one time he was dressing as like the janitor.
Yeah, I love those.
You know, and then someone actually, one of the employees, started mistreating them. Not knowing who they were at first, started treating them so bad, you know, like, not like disrespecting them in terms of like not just even talking to them. It would look like, oh, like, you're not better than me. But later on, when they found out that was the boss, that was actually the company or the CEO, they changed their whole
demeanor.
Persona. Like, everything changed. And I was like, wow.
Isn't that crazy, though?
That's crazy.
Like, I'm going to treat the dude who I see, you know, like, in real talk, bro. Real talk. Like, we ain't rich. Nobody is. Like, we're all grinding every day, you know? But I see those dudes standing outside every morning asking for change at the end of the throughway.
At the highway,
You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro, I'm giving them change. I don't even care what I got. I could be down to my last change. I'm going to give it to them, because it takes a certain mindset to stand out there and ask that many people for money every morning. And you mean to tell me all these people driving by, the man could be the richest man in the world. Good for him. Great hustle then. You know what I'm saying? But we're all driving by him, not realizing, put yourself in this man's shoes. Imagine if you had to do that. That's the problem, though. Like, people don't seem to care until they've had to go through it.
That's it.
You know, and you know, unfortunately, or it benefits them in some way, shape, or form.
That's where life teaches you, like, a lesson.
You know?
That's why even based on my own personal experience, like, coming from Africa, I can say the life there was so different that when I came here, it really showed me you have to understand where you came from, and you have to work hard.
Mm-hmm. And you have to embrace it.
Exactly. But we don't have this much opportunities. If I was back home right now, I wouldn't have this studio.
Right.
You know, but I've worked really hard to make sure that I make whatever time worth it. Even every little opportunity that I didn't have, I make sure that they're worth it here. Because I'm in a different space. I've already seen that life where people are really grinding for years and years, but they haven't had something like this. And that's, like you said, if they haven't really been in your shoe, they were never gonna understand you.
They're never gonna understand. And success has so many different levels. And success, those levels are based on what you've been through in your life.
Yep.
So, you know, people always ask me how come I don't go places or I don't hang, or, you know, I'm a loner, man. I love being that. I used to be that boy. You know, I used to be outside all the time. You know what I mean? But now I realize, like, unfortunately, not too many people have been through some of the things that I've been through, you know? And so I realized that maybe it's better to keep to myself and just stay focused.
Let's talk about that.
You know what I mean?
How is that life for you, though? Like, when you first started, like, saying, you know what, I'm going to stay in the house, how is everything feeling for you in that moment?
I mean, in that moment, it was different. You know, I don't think I realized a lot of stuff until I started having kids. That's why I read my kids so much. You know, I had to learn the hard way. You know, I had to go through it.
Kept you.
They kept me grounded all this time. You know what I mean? My oldest 14. So, you know, like, for me, you see the world around you, right? And you see the things that I've been through. I can only base anything I'm saying off of my personal experience, right? And in my personal experience, you know, you look around you in this world and the direction that it's headed. You know, the amount of times that I've been pulled over by the police and threatened and asked if I was ganging and this and that. You know, I spent half my life in the suburbs, man. Like, when you start to see that in the different levels and structures of people's lives and your own, right? You start to really put things into perspective. You know, I got a 10-year-old daughter. Where's she going to be in 20 years, man? How's she going to be treated? You know, you start to really think about those things, man. It's become an obsession for me, man.
Right.
You know? And so now it's just it's work hard every day. Like you said, bro.
That's the one thing that changes a lot of men's future. Like, once you have that kid in your life.
It's like the greatest, worst feeling in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and for me, unfortunately, like, this is just who I am. Like, I can't stop. You know, it's just one of those things that, like, whatever I'm doing, I'll never give up on. Whatever I'm doing, I'm putting my all in it. Man, all the people I started with in the beginning, ain't none of them around anymore. You know what I mean? They're gone. You know, whatever their reasons are, that's on them. You know, at the end of the day, this was the vision. This was the vision. You know, I laid the vision out for what I wanted this business to be from day one. Either you riding or you flying.
Or you sliding.
You know what I'm right. You know what I mean? And
That's it.
It's what it is. But I'm still doing it through all the highs and the lows. I'm still grinding. So my ambition, you know what I mean, speaks for itself.
Let's talk about that, the resilience, because I had Tommy Champion. I don't know if you watched the episode. He's Buffalo District B's.
Oh yeah, I saw him. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, we talked a lot about resilience, and we said like resilience is what keeps you going. So once you have that trait within you, you just will never stop, no matter what obstacles you go through, no matter how many people you lose in your life. But if you have that one thing, which is resilience, you will never stop going, and you will always accomplish every single thing.
You will accomplish. Yeah, I agree.
So based on your own experience, like how did resilience kind of play a part within your life?
Man, bro, I wish I would have learned it. I wish I would have had it earlier as a child, as a young teenager. You know, when I was out wilding and doing the same things kids are doing now, and we chasing money. You know, I grew up in the suburbs, man. Like, I was the poor kid, you know. We're doing the same things the people in the suburbs are doing, keeping up with the Joneses. This is what I tell some of the homies on the block, like, yo, we're actually doing the same thing. You know, you trying to better your life financially to get up out of this. You know, you got some people in the suburbs that are trying to maintain their life so they don't look a certain way. Their perception of how they look is everything. And the people around them, like, you get to a point where you don't give a shit. And that's like a light switch. You know, I've always kind of been that dude who really didn't care what people thought about him, right? But as I started to have my children and I went through my divorce, and you sit back and you start to really think about your life and where you're supposed to be, you know, and you start to really look around you and you see the people around you. Like, first of all, the circle ain't right. Second of all, there's always somebody talking shit about you. And if there's not, then you ain't doing enough, you know? And thirdly, there's always somebody in the way. Yeah. There's always an obstacle, you know? So that resilience is really is built over time. You know, you kind of got to go through some shit to realize what your purpose is, you know? For me, my purpose is my children. That's why I talk about them everywhere I go. Every time we pitch the business, I'll be talking about them. I don't care if you want to hear about them or not. You're going to hear about them. You know what I mean? Because I know how I came up as a biracial suburb city kid, right? And it didn't benefit me. Okay, I'm not saying it won't benefit other people. By all means, that's based on the choices that I've made in my life. But as a father now, I do not want to see my kids go through that. I see my kids already going through stuff in suburb schools. I'm already seeing it. It's a mission now, man. It's just, and it's not, these things are going to happen. You have to we all had to go through that. You know what I mean? And you have to. That's what makes you stronger, right? Yep. But as a parent, there are ways to at least minimalize some of the stuff they have to go through, or build the confidence in them young so they realize when they are going through those things that they stay champions.
Let's talk about that, because, you know, nowadays, like you said, like, building that confidence within them. Nowadays, it's like there's a lot of people that just have that do not have that confidence. You know, they lack they lack that. How can I say it? Like, they have, like, low self-esteem.
Yeah,
you know. And what factors do you think play a part within, like, that kind of affect that? When kids go out, like, they're not able to be social, they're not able to talk to other people. Yeah. What few things that you think that plays a huge part in
I mean, the way I look at it nowadays, you know, is social media, you know, is heavy, you know, on wanting to look a certain part. I mean, let's be real though, like, you put on a fresh new pair of sneakers, you feel like a G. You know what I mean? You're feeling it. You got that new cologne on, that fresh jumpsuit, like, you're feeling it. You know what I mean? I know that feeling, you know? But how I figured it is I had to go without those things, right? Like, when I was a young homie, we didn't have those things. Then you get old, you start making some paper and you want those things, you know? Hell yeah, I want those things, you know? Then maybe you drop the bag a little bit. We've all fumbled the bag, you know? And you realize you don't have those things. And you start to think to yourself, like, well, wait a minute, I'm still a G. This is how I put it to my kids. Like, yo, listen, maybe you might not have the things that you see some of these homies that have, you know? But that don't matter. Like, maybe you don't look just like these homies. But really, within, you're the dopest thing ever. I'm a dope parent. Can't nobody say it otherwise, you know? And when you can wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and realize, yo, I'm an amazing person. I know that takes some time with children. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's why I take that time. And I think that a lot of us parents don't put in that kind of time. Yo, here's that PlayStation, go play. You know what I mean? Yo, what? Our kids go to school, they only up for what? 4 hours after they get home. We parents got to put our shit down and have those real conversations with your little homies. And that's why I call them my little homies.
And I feel like parents also got to step out with their kids, you know? Like you said, just spending that time with them, having them go outside to the park, so that way they can socialize with other kids and
it's hard now.
Build that social skill, you know, because a lot of kids. So the reason why I'm saying this, because so I used to teach kids, like, in the after school program, and some kids that would come to school were very social, And the reason why I knew that they're very social, very outgoing is because they usually go outside. Like I would ask them, what do you do at home? Like, oh, I usually go to the park with my mom, da-da-da-da. So they kind of build up their social skill where they're not just on their phones, locked into the social medias and so on. And the kids that was more onto themselves will always be on the phone, trying to like, be on social media at a young age. I'm like, wow.
It's just too much distraction, and
like
I understand.
Like the kids gotta go out. Parents, like, make sure you take your kid out.
Yeah.
Make sure you talk to your kids, have a conversation with them. I feel like he helps them, see different things. He helps them like not so focused on the life on social media. In terms of like, because social media can be very draining.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Like you seeing people living a good life, especially young kids are the ones that get caught up in that mix, in that mess. Like they will see another kid literally being gifted a Rolls Royce. They're like, oh my God. And it kills them inside.
It does.
So keeping them off of that helps them grow better.
Yeah, it does, man. And they got to believe in themselves.
They got to believe in themselves.
You got to believe in yourself. And isn't that our job as parents? I mean, I get it. Some people don't have kids. It's love.
Yeah, I don't got kids, man.
But man, my job changed once I had kids. It wasn't about me. My life is over, dog. You know what I mean? Like now
it's not over.
Well, like I look at it like now it's my job to make sure, you don't want your kids to make the same mistakes, but they're gonna. You got to let them mess up sometimes. Yeah. But it's a different grind now. Yeah, you know what I mean? It ain't sun up to sundown anymore. You know what I mean? It's 24/7 now. And I think people are lazy now. No disrespect. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of it. If you're telling me you hustling, you ain't hustling as hard as me. That's no disrespect. That's just, I know what I'm doing. I think a lot of people like to talk now, and they like to, hype themselves up, and everybody wants this image, and it's like, yo, bro.
That's the conversation I had with this one girl that I had on a podcast. We talked about comparison. Comparison is a dream killer, and that's what a lot of people do. The ones that usually just talk, they're actually talking because they want to compare themselves with other people. They will see the next person like grinding, going crazy. But for them to try to like, make themselves feel better, they would try to compare themselves to you, saying, oh, I'm grinding too. I'm doing this. Yeah. But are you really doing that?
Well, it's like, man, I talk about this a lot too. I don't want to hold it, but like, why don't we come together, dog? I got so many, the people that are in my life right now, which is barely any, you know what I mean? Some of them are successful, which is dope. You know what I mean? Some of them are just doing their thing, which is dope. No disrespect to any of them, you know what I'm saying? But like, if we all came together, if you can find like-minded people, you know what I mean? And that are really grinding like you and really see the big picture. And it's not about money, man. Of course I need dough. We all need money, you know what I mean? But it's really about, can you do it? How far can you get? How far you really, I done slept in my car. We done did some, how far are you really, really willing to go to get it, right? And then you see some people that may be in your circle that may be a little bit more successful than you, and maybe they're doing things, so you want to learn from them a little bit. How'd you get it? And how can we come together and get it together? And I think that's the biggest problem. Not enough of us are coming together like, yo, listen, you got a product, I got a product. How do we push both these products together?
It's too many gatekeepers.
Man, too many, man. Too many, man.
It's too many gatekeepers, and also it's too many people that let their egos, pride, or whatever take a hold of them. It's like they will know that you know how to do something, but because they want to compete with you, they'll be like, they wouldn't even have the courage to come and ask you for help or for anything, because they feel like you gotta beat them, or you're gonna be teaching them something that they can learn themselves. Now, like you said, then people start not coming together, all at once.
It's sad.
And that's the saddest part.
Because I thought that's what this was all about. We all supposed to come together. Everybody talk about community and this and that. Well, exactly. Why ain't we coming together? You know what I mean? I understand that there's nonprofits out there and there's people doing things in the community. I respect that because I'm not. So I respect that, but I talk about wanting to do those things and trying to get opportunities to do those things. And there are things that I could do too that are better. But why aren't enough of us coming together and pitching products, man? I deliver from Youngstown all the way into Erie. I mean, I've met so many businesses and so many different people. And half the time, these conversations never come up. I did a wedding this weekend, though, for a lady who just opened up a business, a catering or rental business out in Hamburg. Beautiful, beautiful location. She took the time to actually come talk to me when I dropped off the popcorn for the wedding. Like, hey, listen, I got like 80 weddings planned for next year. Would you like to come in and maybe, you know, talk to the people? She likes to bring her, like just that conversation alone that only took about 10 minutes. The nicest woman out in the middle of Hamburg. You know, I barely get out there that much. Like, that meant something to me, regardless if we do business or not. Like, you could tell that she wanted to showcase some of her favorite people and items to her. That's showing love to everybody.
That's it. That's how it should be. And I believe that every day. And that's why, like, me personally, bro, I like to act dumb.
Yeah, man.
You know, I like to play dumb. You know, that's why I told you, like, it's because I'm not afraid to go to someone and say, yo, how you do that? Because I like to play dumb. Like, I could literally see someone doing something that I know I'm capable of doing, but because I want to connect and actually get to know them and also be able to learn from them, because we all know something more than someone.
Yeah, for real.
You know, so like I would just play dumb, like, yo, what? Like, how did you do that?
And the learning experience is amazing.
Exactly,
we
bro.
should want to do that every day.
Exactly.
Teach me something.
And it builds that connection. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, then look at us collaborating, doing things together. And now we're building a team. Because one person have their own followers in terms of like social media.
Right.
So you have your own followers. I have my own followers. So if I'm willing to come to you, set my ego, pride all to the side and say, yo, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And then we come up to a conclusion and say, yo, let's collaborate. Now we're building a whole bigger space for the both of us.
Man, just like old Goody, Dottie. Yep. You know what I mean?
Oh, she's amazing.
I link with Dottie and, you know, old Goody anytime I'm posting this normally.
Or she connects.
You know what I mean? Or she connects. Like, because she shows me love, and in turn, her customers, they see it like, right. And 90% of people are just blowing smoke anyway. I can't tell you the amount of conversations I done had with people in this city too. Businesses that want to do something, there's that, you know, whatever, outside of the area, whatever. Man, you spend more time talking about it than you actually do planning it and doing it. Sometimes I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking to lock deals. You know what I mean? That doesn't make me a bad businessman. You know, the business is a completely different side from friendships. You know, and when I'm in business mode, which is 99% of the day, I'm trying to lock deals. I'm trying to change my life. I'm trying to create opportunities. I'm trying to, you know, we should all be thinking like that. And that's what I love about, you know, Dottie and old Goody, because
she
really gets it.
Like,
and she's out here working a full-time job and still grinding.
Yeah. Do you see even the way, like, she's willing to promote people's businesses?
That's the greatest thing about
it. She would tag you. She would put some hashtags. Yep. She will tag other people that she knows.
And like, she ain't looking for nothing.
Nothing.
There's no underlying issue.
She doesn't ask for anything.
Nothing. You know?
That's the people we need, bro.
Man, there's not enough of them.
You know,
there's not enough of them. Because there have been some days where I'm not getting too many orders. And then Dottie will slide in like, yo, listen, I got this going on. Can you put... Right? We all need that. You know what I mean? So, you know, you try to find people like that, man. And when you do, you latch onto them. But not only that, you try to learn from them. You know, and you want to create cool concepts with them. And I wish that there would be more people like that. But, you know, we live in a selfish time.
Yeah, the selfish time, man. We got to do better. But to end this, bro, there's so many things that we can do as human beings to make this world a better place. You know, in terms of, like, just communicating with each other, understanding each other, and also just being able to go out of your way and making sure that you do something that nobody else would have thought you can do for them. You know, what else? What would be some things that you think that as human beings that we should be doing in order to make this world a better place from your own perspective?
Man, keeping it real. You know, I hate bullshit conversations.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that, like, you know, we need to be a little bit more upfront and honest with each other. I mean, myself included. You know, like, there's nothing I'm going to sit here and say to you that I also don't apply to myself. You know, like, I just feel like more people should really come together. I have a really hard time me personally, listening to the things that people do for communities, you know, and I had a really hard time with the shootings and the things that we've been seeing. I got a hard time with gang violence, you know, because, you know, we only want to help when everybody gets together and says, yo, we need to create something and help. You know, I wish more people, I really wish more people would spend more time in the trenches. If you ain't from the hood, go walk around, you know? And I get that, you know, some people might not feel like, you know, comfortable or whatever it is, their reason is to do it. But then that's a problem that you have because you need to be able to broaden your horizons to see everything. I still got my kids in the hood, dog. You know what I mean? It's dope that their mother, you know, allows that, you know what I mean? But they seeing it all, you know, and I'm seeing in them what their growth and what they're understanding when I have these conversations with them about it, you know? And so if you're not a parent, even regardless, you know what I mean? Spend more time outside of your community.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll get a better understanding of maybe how you'd like to see your community blend or how you might want to get up out of your community. You know, Buffalo's a dope city, man, but there's so much more opportunity in other areas.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So bro, just, you know, but Pete, you say that here and it's like, oh, you dogging Buffalo. No, I am not. I love this city. You know what I mean? I'm from here. But I don't want my children to live their whole life here. I want my children to be able to travel and see the world like I see a lot of other wealthier families doing. We all want that for our kids. And if we don't want it for our kids, we want it for ourselves. I see so many people like, oh, I want to travel. I just love traveling. Travel more then. You know what I mean? I've learned I can't die working all the time. You know, you got to find that balance in life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm just now learning that, you know.
You have to really find that balance. That man, because, I mean, you then, when you die, it's like, what did you leave behind, you know? Because a lot of times, that's why I told you, living life is doing something, you know, either traveling, staying busy, but working, and not really doing anything else to try to see a different side of life. That just
there's
not
no
living.
purpose.
There's no purpose,
you know. And I want legacy, bro. Yeah. And I said it last time I was here, man. I'm a dreamer. Yeah, you cannot. You can't bring me down. You can't. You can't. You know, I love those people who are like, you know what you should do. I love as soon as I hear that, you know what you should do? Oh, I'm all ears. Like, yo, tell me, bro.
What should I do?
Like, yo, and it's like, you know, people are too opinionated, man. You know, you got the ones that tried and failed. You got the ones that are eager to try, and you got the ones that are in between, that are in the midst of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And your life is your life, dog. You know, if I sat here and told you right now, you know, I'm about to open up 16 Lamborghini dealerships. Man, how many people here laughing about it?
Oh, they're gonna laugh.
You know what I mean? And that is the problem. Like and me personally, my God, I want you to hate me. Yo, hate me, Buffalo. You know what I mean? Because it motivates me. Like I could care less, and I think too many people care too much. You know, and just get up and do you, man. Because you're the only person riding for you.
That's it, bro.
You know what I mean? And
that's it.
You know, it's a reality check.
Get up and do you. I appreciate you always, bro.
Man, I love you, dog. You already know it's love, man. You know, I appreciate you letting me come out here and just yap.
Man, we talked about a lot of different things, and what I like about this is just us, you know, just having a conversation. You know, it's like we're just sitting down in Tim Hortons,
you know,
and just chopping it up. You know, talking about a lot of different things here, there, and that's how I want to keep this the platform, like the format of it is just being authentic. Sit down, let's have a conversation.
Real talk.
I don't like doing too much notes or anything.
Nah, I like that. You know, it's just freestyle. You know,
just freestyle.
Man, one quick thing though before I go, I gotta share this with you based on what we do. When I opened that ferry in Shenego, that was my first store, right? I mimicked what's popping to remind me of my great grandmother. You know, I never got to share this story. My great grandmother, my grandfather black, my grandmother white as the wall. You know, my great grandmother was this beautiful, skinny little white lady. I mean, if you saw her, you wouldn't even, and this isn't about race, but I'm saying it.
Right.
You know, if you saw her, you wouldn't even believe she was my great grandmother. You know what I mean? Like, that's how diverse my family is, right? When I was a kid, my great grandmother, we used to go to her house in Niagara Falls, and she'd stick her fingers outside the, the mail slot in her door, right? She always would do that. but her house always smelled like apple cinnamon, and she was baking cakes and
always baking.
Yo, just that lady, you know what I mean? I loved her so much. And when I see my grandmother now, you know, I don't have much family, but I got my grandparents. I see my grandmother now, and it's just like, man, you know, I love y'all, you know. But, you know, long story short, when we decided I was going to open up a store, I wanted to mimic my great-grandmother, meaning I wanted it to be this quaint, beautiful little store that you thought it was a white owner. And I wanted to put it on Ferry and Shenango, dog, right in the hood that everybody said, you know. And, man, people loved the store. They just thought it was the most beautiful thing. And they didn't even know I was the owner. They never knew. I come into the store sometimes, never knew. I didn't lay that out until later on down the line. And I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. And that's why people would reach out on a blackout day and make comments about me posting when we should be representing black people. They didn't even know.
Right.
That's the problem here. I came in this game misconception of people and judgment. You know, it's taken this long for some people to either see, this is the real me.
It's 5 years now.
It's 5 years on the 19th, man. 5 years since we opened the store, you know. Wow. This is the real me, dog. This been the real me my whole life.
Yeah, you have to stick to that, bro.
You know,
just stick to that, because that makes, I think that's the most beautiful thing to see, when someone stays true to themselves.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
and they would come in and say, "Why isn't this store on Elmwood?" You know what I mean? And I'd be in the back like chuckling, like, "Gotcha." You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's nothing here that I can lie about. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a real G my whole life. I am what I am. You know what I'm saying? And I love myself so much for that. Yes, because sir. I stayed true to myself. And now my kids are learning that, and they about to stay true to themselves too. And, you know, I just feel like the sky's the limit for me, man. You know what I mean? And I was put here on this earth just for a different purpose, my energy, my passion. And when I meet people, I have a hard time relating. And I've learned that about myself over the years. I have a hard time relating, you know, and I sometimes just feel like I'm in my own league. And to be real with you, I kind of love it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so despite, you know, whatever happens or what direction it goes in, man, like, I got so much stuff coming up. And, you know, you live through the mistakes and there's things that you wish you could change. And I'm thankful to be able to acknowledge that. And amen. Shit, man, I'm still riding. You know what I mean? And I'll never, ever stop. So, you know, I hope more people, I wish there, and I hope there's more people like that in Buffalo. And I'm sure there is, because I haven't put myself out there to really meet them. But the ones that I done met are dope. But, you know what I mean? I'm still riding my own grind.
Yes, sir. That's it, bro. Your story is beautiful, brother. Like,
I appreciate you, bro.
You feel
know?
me? And it's it's inspiring. Let me say it like that. It's inspiring because not a lot of people can come up in the way that you came up, you know. And the more you speak on it, it's a testimony, bro. The more you speak about it, a lot of people will see it and say, you know what? Like, I could really work hard and
man. And I appreciate you saying that, because I gave a lot of speeches in a lot of different places, and I've had a lot of people come up to me after like, yo, bro, that's love. And then the director that may have put the speech on, you know, is like, man, that's a little harsh. And it's like, well, yo, man, you know, life is harsh, dog. I'm not here to give you a book on how to start a business and what you need to do to get to these steps, because we all come from a different path. You got a homie who started from the trenches and worked up, and then you got a homie out in Hamburg whose mommy and daddy gave him a mill. I can't judge. You know what I mean? So I can only teach you the way I came.
And you can't even be mad at those people.
And I ain't mad at those people.
Their mommy or daddy gave them a meal. A lot of them are actually smart and they work really hard. You can give them $1 million, they turn into $100 million.
Which I respect.
You know, and it's like, damn. Like,
you know, you come in at different levels.
Different levels, bro. You know? Different levels. And also, like, just, well, when you do speak to people, like you already said, keeping it real. Man, just, you know, when you keep it real, when you keep it real with people, you actually, you know, inspire even many more people.
You really do, bro.
Because a lot of people today, they don't keep it real.
They don't.
They're scared to speak up because they feel like they're going to be judged.
Yeah, man. And I always I say I'm the Gary Vee of popcorn. You know, and I don't know if anybody knows who Gary Vee is, and if you don't, look him up. But, man, I'm the motherfucking Gary Vee of popcorn, man. You put me in front of 1,000 people, I'm still going to talk the same way I'm talking right now. Now, there are people out there that may disagree with that, and I respect your opinion. I respect that opinion. But mine is, yo, bro, you cannot judge a book by its cover, and if you judge me, I'm gonna blow your mind because I'm an intellectual. I'm an intellectual hood boy. I call myself now a hood poet. We talk about it, you know. Like,
right.
I always wanted to be a rapper, but I can't rap. But I could definitely sit here and have some real conversation. And
right,
people are always blown away by that, and I'm always upset by that because you thought I was coming in one way and I left out another. And that's just what it is.
That's just what it is, bro. Thank you so much once again.
Appreciate you.
Because I know the time right here, the camera, I'm trying to watch out from that. It was an amazing time sitting down with you, just having conversation. That's very important. And a lot of people, I hope you guys watch this, and I hope it kind of gives you a different insight on life. We really highlight a lot of different things in terms of like how to really live a life, live a life of purpose and making sure that you do not care what people say about you, because your life gonna keep moving forward.
Gonna keep moving, man. Life is fast.
Yes, sir. Woo. All right, guys. Y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe button, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And go ahead and follow my brother What's Poppin' on Instagram.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Put them orders in.
Get them orders
flavors.
in. Yes, Don't even get them orders in. Just hit me on Instagram. Follow me. You know what I mean? Keep up with the vision.
Keep up with the vision. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you
outside.
too.
Let's go.